Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's episode of the Fluval Evo build. This episode will just cover what happened this week. Mostly you can see from the colour of the water it's quite cloudy, and in this video I'll kind of explain why and what happened. I think it's because of this macroalgae I have in my tank. I've decided to grow some macroalgae in along with the main display, and it's a Chlorpa. Not sure what type of Chlorpa it is, but it's quite a nice Chlorpa. But as you can see, one of the leaves has went clear. I think this means the algae has went sexual in the form that it starts to degrade inside the water and release back the nitrates and other kind of material it has in the leaf. And this tends to usually cloud up the water when it does this. So yeah, this is my thoughts at the minute. I think what it is, and I hope that's what it is. I'm not a bacterial bloom or anything in the water, but I removed that leaf from the macroalgae, and yeah, we're going to try some things this video to hopefully try and get the clear water back. As you can see, the diatoms this week are starting to die down a little bit. The clear bits of the rock are starting to come through. I think the water changes are starting to help a good lot as well. So as you can see, it's kind of an obvious hue on the water, unlike normally it's nice crystal clear water. So first thing I'm going to try is use some Ruophos. This is just some Phosphate Absorber, in the hopes that if any of the materials that the algae has released back into the water, I could hopefully absorb some of it through this. Use a tiny little amount. There's directions inside the container of how much you use per your water volume. I just place these inside the media basket in chamber 1 on level 2. As you can see, a few days later it has actually not been as cloudy anymore. The corals are starting to open up a little bit, especially the zoas, who I think closed a lot more in the past first days this happened. And you see the clownfish and the fish are all looking pretty healthy, so I'm not as worried really, and I think it's just a one-off, hopefully. So as you can see, the macroalgae is growing really quickly at the back. It's really spreading, but I like the look of it, especially when it starts to grow a lot taller. It'll look really nice in the background. And also it helps with absorbing the nitrates out of the water, especially with a Fluval Evo tank like this. It has no nutrient export as sort, so instead of running a back chamber refugium, I decided to get a nice looking Chlorpa macroalgae and grow it along the back. As you can see, it grows in like kind of a vine and then sends up these shooting leaves. So this week I'm going to just take you through my water change process. So I have a 20 litre barrel, and also this is my RODI machine. Really cheap one from eBay. It's only £43 and it's a 4-stage. It comes with this little outside garden tap adapter which I use. Yeah, so I just put in the clean outlet nozzle into the barrel and the waste one down the sink, and then I connect it up to the outside tap and turn it on. This is really slow and it kind of takes about 6 hours or so to fill up that barrel. So the salt I use currently in the system is just the remainder of a large bag I got a while back, which is the Red Sea Coral Pro. And this I normally do about 15-16 litres water change per week, and that's normally about 555 grams of the salt. Mix it up to 1.025 salinity. So as you can see, the alkalinity and the parameters of this water are quite high, and I've actually ordered a box of Aqua Forest salt to come this week. I've heard really good things about it, so I'm going to give it a try, and I like the parameters a lot more as well, so it should be good. So I just put my RODI water in here, and I test it before, usually make sure that it's 0 TDS. I fill it up on my barrel or my bucket up until about 15-16 litres. And then I add my salt. I tend to use a large 300 watt heater just to heat it up pretty quickly. I know this is kind of overkill, but it just makes my water a lot the correct temperature a lot faster, so I'm not sitting around waiting. And I use this little wave maker just to kind of agitate the salt and get it all mixed together nicely. Yeah, just a really simple little setup to mix my salt. And I don't kind of store any salt. Whatever salt water I make, I use it that day. I add my salt, And then normally I wait for about an hour, 2 hours or so until the water is fully clear, and I test it with my refractometer, which I'll show you soon. As you can see, this the salt gets stirred up with the wave maker and will eventually dissolve, and the heater will match the temperature of the water inside the aquarium when I'm adding it to it, just so I don't shock any corals or fish with a lower temperature water. So yeah, this is the refractometer I use. Very simple, very cheap again. Just a non-brand refractometer from Amazon, I think. I just take a little sample of the water from both the bucket and the tank just to make sure they match. And then I look through and you can see it is at 1.025, so I'm good enough. Happy with that. So I like to keep my salinity at in the tank. And this is now, I think it's about 2.5 hours after. You can see the salt is completely dissolved in the water, nice and clear. And turned off all the pumps in the, well, just the return pump. So it's nice and still. Turned off the auto top off, so it's all ready to go. So I used a little simple siphon just to get it out. This is again a little cheap one from eBay. I think it was only like £2 or something. And then I have another 25 litre barrel, which I gradiate for 2 litre intervals. And I use this just for my salt out. Yeah, so I just put the siphon in, put it into the tank, and I usually remove, normally with the same amount, about 15-16 litres. At the minute I'm doing this every 7 days, but I think I'll slowly reduce that to maybe once every 14 days. So as you can see, all their water is now removed. It's roughly about half the tank's volume, but again, some of the water is kept in the back chambers, so yeah. So we're going to take off our back lid, chamber lid, and I like to switch out my floss out of the media baskets, so I keep floss in the top and, well, the top shelf in both chamber 1 and chamber 2 baskets, just to collect any small particulates. Yeah, so I use this really low-cost polyester kind of cushion filler, but you have to make sure that it's aquarium safe, and usually if they don't have any like anti-fungicide and stuff in it, but it's kind of relatively easy to find that on eBay. They usually grade it as fish grade or aquarium grade polyester. Yeah, and I just put it on the top shelves, and then I go to refill. So this is it refilled. As you can see, a little bit cloudy still, but this will usually settle again. And we'll put the lid chamber back on. Fix our little thermostat through the little hole. And yeah, I'll turn the pumps back on now and we'll get everything circulating again. So turn off the feed mode on the DCS1200 litre pump. So yeah guys, this is it now filled up. You can see starting to look a lot clearer, and everything's looking really nice. I'm really starting to notice a lot of colors changing in my corals. I'm not sure whether this is just the more frequent water changes or I don't know, hopefully more stable parameters that I'm able to achieve at the minute. But yeah, this is the back chamber lid, which will also be released very soon. We hope now maybe this week, but there will be a link and stuff on our Facebook whenever it's fully released. But it just fully covers the back chamber lids. Looks really neat on the tank. But yeah guys, thanks very much, and hopefully see you very soon.